shift right click over here again to add, you know what, 3D cursor. Then add a UV sphere, GZ, bring it above, hold tab. So come over here and then select half of it, X vertices, that's it. And I am in the toggle X-ray mode. Then hit O to enable this proportional editing. Select this one, G, Z, bring it above, maybe something like this. And maybe instead of smooth, you can choose sphere. Sphere will be like this, and let's choose sharp, GZ. Yeah, sharp works well. So maybe something like this, and delete this vertices, whatever it is. Then select this full stop, and maybe just to not make it that perfect, what we can do is we can choose this G, somewhat like this, G, somewhat like this, you know, just a little bit of imperfection. Then last one also G, something like, so I'll just zoom in, sorry, not like that, G, yeah, something like this basically. Shift D, Y, S, X, make it much more flatter. I guess this is looking much better than this, so maybe we should delete this one, or not delete this one. Then Shift D, copy this one. This one is already selected. Tab, G, bring this forward, something like this. Then select these, bring these over here, bring these over here. So this will be a little bit, you know, different from this one. And I'll not make it this bad so that it loses its subdivision quality also. Doesn't lose it. So shade smooth. Select this one. Shift D. SZ. Increase its scale. SX. Y. Wait, what? SZ. Yeah, something like this. So select all of these. M. New collection. These will be drops. Hit OK. Give them a material which will be glass. So this glass material, make it 0.01. That is it. It is white. Okay. And Control L, yeah, last thing, Control L, link materials. That is it. Let's come to our camera view by hitting 0. Click home over here. Well, I opened that again. I don't know why it just went blank. Maybe because of the scene, which is really heavy right now. And also I'm recording and all of that kind of stuff, right? Let me just close Blender preference. Okay, so I have that now. So interface, there was state about scene statistics. Yeah, so I need to see all of these. Now you can see how much it is affecting it. Right now it's really low. It shouldn't affect that at all. Let's add a particle emitter. I'll choose here instead of whatever this is. And faces, yeah, faces is fine. Let's do one thing. Let's come here, go to tab, hit Alt C, and let's choose where do we want particles to emit from basically. So I will choose these. I'll hit Alt Z and then deselect with Shift. Sorry, let me just see and just deselect all of these. That is it. You can even increase the size of this. All right, I think till this much is fine. Let me do this one also. Again C and deselect these also. That is it. Now let's come to this vertex group, and also let's select these faces. So I'll do Alt Shift. That is it. Add a vertex group, type drops, come here and vertex groups in density, choose drops. Why isn't that select? Yeah, so this was not assigned, I don't know why. And now in here in particles, go to seed first of all and click advanced and use modifier stack, maybe, yeah, the modifier stack, whatever. Then choose jittered, random, whatever you wanna do, faces, vertices, faces. So I'll choose vertices instead of faces, random order obviously, and in here dynamics will be disabled, velocity will be 0, nothing. Okay, so 1, I don't know. If you will play, so nothing will happen because these are hairs obviously, okay? But if you have chosen particles instead of hair, then this would have created mess. We will see all of these stuff later. Let's go to render instead of path. Let's choose collection, and collection we'll choose drops. I'll choose pick random whole collection. Okay, no, I'll not do all of these. Let's do scale randomness. Let's decrease the scale first of all, and now in rotation, enable rotation, randomize. I'll change the phase to 0.5. Randomize phase, I will not do this. Randomize phase is not good at all. Velocity normal, normal tangent, velocity here, global x, global y, global z, object x. Okay, so velocity here is fine. And lastly, to change the rotation of these, what I'll do is I'll select all of these. We can see this over here. So, and then R, X or Z maybe. Why aren't these working? RR. No, so instead of individual geometry, I'll do median point. This should be working. So yeah, you need to check object rotation. This was the mistake I did, sorry guys. So basically you need to choose object rotation, that is it. Wait, screencast keys were not on, I'm sorry guys. Again, I did some mistake, please forgive me. I am not a good boy. Sorry, really sorry for that. Maybe screen randomness should be something like this, and if I increase scale, and yeah, one more thing is that if I come this, set origin to geometry, shift S, cursor to selected, origin to 3D cursor. No, origin to geometry is fine. Sort of volume. Shift S, cursor to world origin. I think this is looking fine. And one more thing, no, that is fine. Tab, and deselect this and and this, and now I will assign it again. I think that it shouldn't be here. Again we can. Is it even working? I don't think it is working. Now you can decrease the amount of particles, increase, it's all up to you. I'll go to 0 again, go to rendered. You can see like what is happening. Hair length, we can even decrease it. And I think that this is looking way better. At least down here you can see it's looking much better. I'll come here also, do the same thing. Select these faces, vertex group, vertex, assign particles, here, advanced, seed any faces or vertices. So we'll choose faces. First of all, come here in the display density, vertex group density, choose this path collections is drops. So this isn't working, by the way. Okay, and here, well, this is again the wrong thing which I did. I shouldn't have enabled particles in rendered view. Well, it is loaded. That's a good thing for us, I think. And first of all, I'll reduce the number of it. I think 100 is fine. Now we can go to rendered view and you can see what a mess we created. Okay, use modifier stack, enable rotation, randomize that, object rotation also, yeah, here, that is fine. Decrease the scale. I think this is also looking fine. Not reducing the scale that much, so we can come over here and increase hair length so that we have some sort of, should we need to change its seed value, or maybe disable the number of particles that we have here? But I think this is looking fine. And lastly, over here also, I'll come here, particles, hair, advanced. Wow, particles are like hair is looking, and also just 100, not that much. And yeah, this is fine. Let's go over address collection, drops, object rotation. Okay, this time it didn't work again, as usual. Scale randomness. You see how it is looking? This is the problem with this glass material. It's not like pure, whatever you want to call it. This is a serious problem, guys. I'll come here in the drop section, choose any of it, and in here, let's reduce the IOR to 1.33 and come here, particles, let's choose rotation. I'll do randomize rotation. That didn't work. Okay, so we can play with randomize phase. First of all, I'll choose randomize 0. So it is like this, right? But yeah, it is like this. If I change it to minus 0.5, so this will look something like this, and we can even change its seed. We can even change its amount of like particles it's showing right now, and maybe randomize phase just a little bit, not that much. All right, and maybe increase the scale again just a tad bit, not that much. Another seed I think we need. Its material is not looking that great. Maybe can we add mix shader, sorry, transparent. I think this will just adding this simple transparent shader, that's it, and looking better. I'll again click home and we can remove this link, and after removing the link we can, I think now it is really better. So maybe we can increase the size of it. Let's come down to this particle section, and here in scale let's make it 0.02. Yeah, this is much better. So we need to play with this material also. So what we can do basically is, let's do one thing, let's add a Musgrave texture. Okay, so let's go bump. We have this normal to normal selected. Let's add a Musgrave texture. Then height to height. Now you see what I was talking about. We need distance to be 0.1. Let's see what is it doing. We also don't want that much strength, and also scale is a bit too low. Control T. Instead of generated, let's choose UV. This is better. Let's see how is this looking first of all. And yeah, lastly let's add a color ramp to it. How can I forget this? Not this one. I'll do color ramp, height to factor, and then color to height. Let's see this now. Yes, much better. And we also need to change its color. So what I'll do is, I'll add a mix color, take this, add it into this, and choose multiply instead of mix or darken and all of this stuff. So maybe we need to swap the inputs. Maybe something like this. No. So yes, this is better. And then here choose invert. I think this is much better. And also lastly, if I hit 0 and see, maybe scale is again too big. We don't need that big scale. Maybe we can play a little bit with the scaling. So I will increase the X and decrease the Y, then rotate it also on the Z axis, something like this. Strength, I'll just make it just a little bit bumpy, not a lot. And also in this I will reduce the factor to 0, so it will be like this. If it will be 1, so it will be like this. So instead I will make it something like this. Actually we are making it bad, it's looking disgusting. We don't need that much amount of particles also. Let me just reduce it to 20, so particles will be 20. Alright, and let's play with the seed value. I think whatever looks good in camera, I think 40 will work, so we'll choose 40. And again play with the seed. It should look good in camera. That's it. Also in this Musgrave, instead of 3D, let's choose 4D. And in this W value, you can just increase it. This is basically seed, if you know what that is. If I'll decrease the scale, if I increase the scale, so let's decrease it. And I also want to know one more thing. In this dimension, what is this doing basically? So how is this looking now? By the way, this can work creating thread-like structures, on paper, if you have seen those sort of things. Linearity is also great. I'll just make this 2. Let's make linearity also 2. Reduce the dimension and increase this linearity, so you can see like what is happening. And even if in case I increased it, so first of all let me just come here. Actually we need this kind of stuff, but not that much, so let's decrease the scale of it, or maybe decrease the detail value. First of all, the bump is too much, so we don't need this much of bump. I think this is fine, like this much bump is enough. And let's copy all of it with Shift D, paste it right here, and come here and see what is the next thing. Also we need to add this, so I'll do normal map, put this color into this color, put the normal into the normal. Let's see how is it looking. Or instead what we can do is we can do Shift D, and I'll delete this. I'll add this and put this into the normal. Let's see how is this. Let's first have a look at this bump node. Yeah, this is fine. Not much big of a difference, I think. And we can even see that here. Yeah, that is fine. Now here, and let's see it like this. So we don't need that much. We just need just a little bit of bumpiness, something like this. And now we also want to multiply it with this factor input also. So if I do 0, it will be like this, but if I increase it to something like this, we are seeing something. I think it's still a lot. I just need just a little bit of those, so that's why I'm playing with very slight intersection of the numbers. So that's why it's like this. And now we have the roughness map as well as the base color, the normal maps, and I think it is looking better. Let's give this one a quick render and we'll see how this is looking. The settings for it is pretty simple, 1920 by 1080, which is swapped, and render properties are like this: 1024, minimum samples is 512, and I have enabled denoising with optics turned on. And lastly, what I'll do is I'll go to light bounces, and I have already done that. That is great. And in glossy also, let me just increase it to 8, and in transmission let me just increase it to 20 instead of 15. And no, I think 15 was fine, and total is already 20, which is fine. And in performance also, you can see my tiling is 512. Final render persistent data, you don't need to check that. Pixel size, everything is fine. Bake, we are not here. And yeah, also choose high contrast. Okay, then hit F12 and let's give it a quick render. And meanwhile that it is rendering, I also want to tell you that in this one I told you how you can create this particle system also. I think this will be a 3-part series. I don't know, I'll see that in the editing section. And yeah, I have a good hope that this render will come out really great. Let's see. And because we have created a scene, just by adding 2-3 more elements into the scene, we can have a pretty good 3D animation also, but we will have to see that. So yeah, let's wait for the render. And yep, here we are done with the render, and I think it is looking great. Instead, I'll not say it's not maybe we will be creating some animations, but we are at least done with all of it. We did modeling, we did texturing, we added some props to enhance our scene, did some lighting also. I showed you how you can do good rendering, and with all of this you will have a render like this. So this way your 3D product rendering visualization, I think, is done. And yeah, that's pretty much for this one. After this, what I'll do is I'll just focus on how we can have that good 3D product animation. And for that also we need to do some things, which include storyboarding, visualization, concept visualization, then actually doing it, blocking the scene, then actually animating it. So yeah, that also involves a lot of process in it, but till then you will have a scene like this. So that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.